A pathless wilderness, wild, rugged, that was South Dakota. A hardy frontier, far from the paths of civilization.
Why die on Mars when you can live in South Dakota?
Where fortune beckons with a glittering smile.
I was hauling pigs on the interstate. You were in a red car having a problem with your shirt.
And life hung on the quickness of a trigger finger.
Podcast Palooza.
The Sioux Empire Podcast.
Sioux Empire Podcast, episode 112, Fire Brothers Fireworks, with me, Andy Jorgensen.
A pathless wilderness, wild, rugged, that was South Dakota. A hardy frontier, far from the paths of civilization.
Why die on Mars when you can live in South Dakota?
Where fortune beckons with a glittering smile.
I was hauling pigs on the interstate. You were in a red car having a problem with your shirt.
And life hung on the quickness of a trigger finger.
Podcast Palooza.
The Sioux Empire Podcast.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another fantastic episode of the Sioux Empire Podcast. I am your host, Robert Mailing. This is the Sioux Empire Podcast, the quirky but harmless podcast that's all about Sioux Empire news, comedy, music, and culture. Joining me, as always, is photographer extraordinaire Natasha Estes.
Snappy intro as usual.
Snappy intro as usual. And also joining us just now is Seth the Glover.
If I was a dwarf, my name would be Sleepy Seth the Dwarf.
Aww.
I'm a little tired, but I'm ready to podcast.
You need some coffee?
I brought some.
Okay, cool.
But I might make more.
Okay, that's totally fine. And also joining us is Andy Jorgensen from Fire Brothers Fireworks. Hey, Andy.
What's up?
Andy's just like, where the hell am I? What the hell is this? What is going on? That's normal. That's natural. I pretty much do that with all the guests. You're going to be fine. You might get a little wet when the waterworks start, but you're fine. It's like a Gallagher show. You just go with it.
I'm excited.
You might have become used to our old intro. It's changed.
Yeah.
So that's probably why you're confused. If you are a little bit confused.
I don't think he's ever seen the show before.
Yeah, I know. I know. It's a joke.
Let's see. Holy shit, there is a lot of news this week, so I'm going to jump right into the news topics. I'm just going to kind of browse them, say my piece that I've got here in the show notes, and then if you guys want to chime in, you can. Otherwise, we're going to rapid fire so that we actually get to talk to Andy about the cool fireworks and blowing shit up for America. So, story number 1. The move to kill public input at City Hall. Well, that didn't take long. Here's a quote here from the Argus Leader. Councilors Marshall Selberg and Rick Kiley next week are expected to unveil a formal ordinance proposal that would do away with the 16-year-old practice of taking public input at the front end of City Council meetings that take place at 7 p.m. on Tuesday nights at Carnegie Town Hall. So, yeah, here's my take on this. It's like, wow, it's like the one guy, Rick Kiley, on the city council who didn't have to run against anyone this time is the one that's most willing to silence people and ignore the people he supposedly serves. Weird. Basically, what this means is that the little people will, get shoved to the back of the line. And their argument for this, if you read it, is that this is it. It's just, the city council, they have a lot of, meetings and have, zoning stuff for, big developers and stuff like that.
They have so much more important things to do.
The important moneyed people.
Every citizen.
Yeah. The important moneyed people are inconvenienced by your democracy. So we're gonna do that, at 9:30, 10 p.m. at night. That way nobody notices if the councilors are, playing Fruit Ninja on their phone while you're talking about how they're gonna destroy their street or take out a historical landmark or
destroy their street. You mean not fix it and just let it remain in disrepair?
Okay, so side tangent here. I just watched the thing about Killdozer, back in the 90s, the guy that basically, his street was destroyed by the city he was living in Colorado. They built a cement plant in the middle of it, like so that his land was cut off from traffic. He literally like couldn't drive to his muffler shop and destroyed his business. So his healthy way of responding to this was that he took one of his bulldozers and turned it into the Killdozer, which he encased in like steel and concrete foot-thick armor, and then proceeded to go on a mad scientist-style rampage and destroyed City Hall, the home of the judge that ruled against him, all this different stuff, and like even the army couldn't stop him, and the governor was talking about bringing in an attack helicopter to break into this thing, because it's literally like if you see the pictures, it's like a thick foot of concrete on this machine.
Dallas police wouldn't have fucked around, and they would have just, found a rocket launcher. Or
they tried. They used grenades. They weren't powerful
Wow,
enough.
I was just gonna say grenades. Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
Grenades had no effect because it was too powerful.
It's quite the Killdozer.
Yep. But then he was taking out the hardware store, one of the city council people that voted against him, and he fell into the basement, and then it took them like 16 hours to cut into it to get at him, because it literally entombed himself in it, and by then he'd shot himself. So that's the Ballad of
That
Killdozer.
ended dark.
Well,
I mean, how was it going to end, really? Yeah. You build a giant, merciless, unstoppable killing machine, it's probably not going to end happy.
Rampages usually don't end happy.
Generally so. But he didn't hurt or kill, like, anybody. Like, it was slow enough that people could get out of the way and stuff like that, but...
He just, honked on the horn outside the judge's house and was like, hey, fuck you, you're gonna have a rough next, 3 months, but have fun with the hotel, bitch.
Pretty much.
Have fun with the insurance claim.
Yeah, have fun explaining this one to your insurance agent. So the guy's got it's a bulldozer, but it's made out of cement. I don't have a form for that.
Yeah. I like your emphasis on that.
So tangents are fun. Basically, so I'm going to encourage everyone, you really need, while you still have the chance and still have the right to do so, you need to go to the City Council meeting if you can, Tuesday, June 12th at 7 p.m. at Carnegie City Hall. And it's confusing because Sioux Falls has 2 city halls if you Google it. Just go to the one that's right next to the Argus Leader building. That's the one where they actually have the meetings. So, yeah, public input. I like being able to talk.
I'm for it. Andy, are you for the First Amendment?
Yeah, First Amendment sounds like a good thing to me. I don't know all the details behind this particular city council thing. I haven't read into that story.
Yeah, it's just they've got a few regulars who show up and kind of just, and it's kind of backed off now that Huther's gone, but they would just get up there and scream at Mayor Huther about their
I heard that was a common occurrence.
And every week the same thing over and over, and everybody had to sit through that, and eventually some of them would get so angry they were cursing and stuff like that, and you got families there for Little League month where the mayor's gonna give a proclamation and stuff like that, and then you got this person that goes on the podium and just you're a son of a bitch, and just
yeah. So it sounds like a change of some sort would be good.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But they can gavel someone or be like, that's enough, or then they can they've done this before, they can have you removed, stuff like that. But I don't see why that means we get to take away everybody's ability to speak at a city council meeting, because that seems ridiculous. So that's where I'm at with that. But next topic. So the Poets' Table, or why we can't have nice things. Did all of you follow the social media storm on this one? Mm-hmm. Familiar with the Poets' Table out in Rapid City?
I have no idea.
Custer.
It's in Custer? Fine. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. Tell us about
Sorry,
it,
they're
Rob.
both from West River, so they're it's not Rapid City, it's Custer.
What's the history of their table?
So the Poets' Table was a table that's up in Custer State Park, up in the hills, and you can hike to it. It was kind of the secluded, a little bit hard to find spot where this poet in the 70s had left this table. And it's a beautiful view, and you can reflect on nature. And people over the years have left their notebooks of poetry, and it's just a super cool, nice, one of these things where I have never gone, probably would never hike up there, because me and hiking, seriously, hell no. But just, it warmed my heart to think that there was something so nice in the world and beloved, and that there was this great thing out there that everyone loved. I mean, there were people that like had their ashes scattered there, for God's sake. I mean, it just, they loved that spot. And just because it's a fantastic view, it's a great place for reflection. It might as well be like a temple of some kind. And so these two girls, these empty-headed morons, this Skylar Anders and Shelby Johnson from Rapid City, they proceeded to go up the hill with a hacksaw, chop up the table, haul it down the hill, and basically like with the intent to throw it away, because they're just like, yeah, it's much nicer now without the table and the people stuff there. So like there was a little green hutch that people would leave their like notebooks of their poetry they'd written up there and stuff like that, and it was just like a quiet place for reflection, and this was all cool. And these didn't been there since like the 1970s, and so they just took it upon themselves to be like, nah, fuck you, we're taking that table down because we don't like it.
I'm pretty sure if they were putting a pool in their backyard and they found a dinosaur, they'd be like, just fuck it. We don't have time. We can't.
Yeah, this Ark of the Covenant thing, just throw it in the trash. We need a pool, damn it. I don't know.
Don't stop the digging for this. We want our pool before we want our Ark.
I don't understand the logic of someone who sees that there's this like thing that is good and happy in the world and makes people happy and feel better, and took a beautiful, like a flower. It's like someone who sees a flower and has to like punch it or like chop it up or something like that.
It's a lot of work to do that. I mean, the planning.
Yeah.
I mean, there was at least one day where they're like, hey, this fucking bench sucks. And then they had to go home and remember to bring that saw. I mean,
I swear.
if they would have forgot it once, maybe this never happened,
Yeah, I don't know.
This is another instance where marijuana could have saved the day.
That's your grand thesis on that one?
Yeah,
weed would have saved everything. Because they just would have smoked, talked about it, and then just, like, played Nintendo and ate something instead.
I feel the vibe over this earth is really strong, and so I think it'd be better for earthing than sitting. I think get in there with the Black Hills, bro, and just feel that emotion.
Feel the hills, man.
Feel the hills.
Feel them.
It's even funnier for a guy named Phil. If your name Phil, your parents obviously touched you.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't know.
Andy's just like, I really want to crawl into the cushions of this couch and hide right now. But,
There's a gap right
Thanks, Natasha. Very helpful. As always.
God, I don't want to say it. It's really dark. Never mind. There's always
money in the banana
Bourdain
stand.
And whatever her space.
Oh, Jesus. We're going to get that in that?
I didn't want to.
You don't have to.
Yeah,
By
okay.
all means.
I'm good. He's like, please don't.
All means don't.
No means no. Okay. So, they have replaced the poet's table, though, with a new one, and they've put an inscription on it. It's the Poet's Table 2, reads the inscription. It's a nod to the, multiple visiting writers, both trained and inspired over the years, and a bronze marker has also been placed on this table that names the original vagabond poet, John Reck, who is the man that put the table there back in the 70s, and then it has this poem from him about the spot itself. A castle that secluded lies beyond the great gates of paradise, a soul-restoring mountain ark. Which I thought that was pretty. That's cool. So I'm cool with that. I feel like this got a good resolution. I'm just like, why? Why would you do that? Why ask why people do terrible things? I don't know. Moving on. Pomp Room and Circumstance. I don't have a lot to say about this. Just wanted to let people know that the new Pomp Room documentary has put out a trailer. FYI, it is a hard R. There's quite a bit of swearing in it. But if you're into the Sioux Falls music scene's history, and especially the history of the Pomp Room, the trailer is worth checking out. I'm seriously wondering, though, when they're going to put that documentary out, because haven't they been working on that for, 5 years?
Is this a local movie?
Yeah.
Cool.
And then it's about that local music club, the Pomp Room, if you ever heard about that. that
I forgot what Kenny said, how long they'd been...
Yeah, that's right. Kenny Anderson was really into that, and he was talking about like all the different acts that had been there. Was he like a bouncer there back when he was a teenager or something like that, he'd said? I don't know.
Something like that. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, Kenny Anderson had story about the Pomp Room.
Quite,
so,
yes,
but that's a place where like a whole bunch of big, because it's like I think like Guns N' Roses performed there, and Marilyn Manson performed there, and a whole bunch of famous acts that passed through there. So, learn more about it with the links that we've provided. But that's all I don't have a lot to say on that news story other than it looks cool. Can't wait to see it. Tasha, you looked like you had something to say.
No, I'm just trying not to get the sound effects on the phone thing.
You're all good.
I'm failing.
It's all good. Also, just a quick shout out one. I just want to say that I'm glad that the trolleys in Sioux Falls have been saved. That happened this last 2 weeks here. I really would have, missed being stuck behind them in traffic. So I'm super glad that they've saved the trolleys. But all joking aside, I wanted to say a massive thank you to Sanford and to Lewis Drug, who are the local businesses that pitched in to save them. And I think they signed some kind of deal. You'll have to look at the news article I've linked there. But I think for like multiple years, like 7 years now, they're locked in. And the trolleys are saved.
I have a question. That trolley looks like the coolest thing ever. I just want to like jump on. Do you pay for that thing?
It's like $1. It's ridiculously cheap.
But here's the thing, like, it's so confusing because it's been here forever.
Yep.
It looks really cool, and if it was just kind of like, I don't know, like public transport where I could just jump on and it would take me down Phillips Ave, and I didn't have to, like, fish out $1 bill from between my car seats, it'd probably be great.
You mean like San Francisco with the wristbands and you just jump on trolleys wherever they're little streetcars and go wherever you want?
Would it be possible? I mean, maybe this is like a city council question, but like, what would it take for that to just run for specific hours where it's just public and you just jump on the trolley and it's just kind of like this rotating route? It goes
that is kind of what it does, is it rotates through the like touristy-ish things downtown.
Yeah.
So it's like a bunch of different sites downtown, and then I know there's a big stop for it at Falls Park, and that's kind of like where one of the routes starts, because a lot of people get on and off it at Falls Park.
I've never understood the trolley.
Nor have I. I've never ridden it.
It's like, it looks really cool. It looks fun.
It looks really cool. The interiors are like a trolley where they've got the like, the brass like pipes poles between each seat and stuff like that, and so it looks cool. I would love to ride on it. I have never ridden on it either, but I would have missed it in the summertime because I do see it in downtown in the summer, and I'm like, oh, that's cool.
Next Sioux Empire podcast episode. Shot
from the back of the trolley.
On the trolley.
Literally, hop the trolley. Nice. This next story, a wound that sears. Yeah, the Sioux Empire Mall. First they've lost Yonkers and they've lost Sears. At the rate this is going, I don't know how long the Sioux Empire Mall is going to stay afloat. So I have to ask, how are we going to keep that space open long enough for the machines that are replacing retail to take over and force us to fight in there as a gladiatorial arena?
Oh, that's awesome.
That's like my main question.
Took that in an awesome direction.
Because
thinking
that would be, well, it started with me thinking like that the whole mall would be like one cool like giant laser tag area, and I was like, but what if the machines that were responsible for its closure turn it into like a Hunger Games kind of thing? And I was like, as long as I could watch it in a movie and not have to be alive and live through that would be entertaining. It'd be kind of like a Dawn of the Dead, but like in reverse, where they're like the mall is the like
VR.
enemy, and
giant haunted house in October.
Hell yeah!
Like the haunted house of all haunted houses.
Oh my god!
Because it's a literal ghost town, and they could play on this ghost town. All the businesses went out of business, but they never moved out. This place and this place. Yeah,
it's like
there's still an old man in there. He's still walking around.
They say the retail stores in this mall died. Dun dun dun.
That'd be cool. Like you could turn it into just leave everything in there. Leave all the merchandise. Somebody should just buy it, and then like paintball with all the clothes. With all the mattresses.
It would be an awesome
free for all.
Paintball free for all. That would be awesome.
One of my dreams is this is like going way back, is being you ever seen those movies where you kind of get locked in the mall, like Elf type of thing?
Oh yeah.
You get locked in the retail spot and he just like plays around in there. the mall, if you could have all access to it, I'm just picturing like 5-year-old me wants to be in the candy corn or with the caramel corn.
Oh yeah.
Like shoving it in and
Yeah,
riding the segways.
The candy corn, the any of the ice cream places.
I'd make myself an orange Julius.
Oh man,
every hour.
All syrup.
Every hour.
Fill that baby up. Every time. Every time that gets empty.
Just take one of the popcorn buckets, fill that with orange Julius.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Brain freeze. Oh.
Oh.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Brain freeze.
I like this. Let's see. So, yeah. This next story is especially frustrating.
Hey, at least you're not Kmart.
It's true. It's true. I am not a Kmart.
At least you're still alive.
Yep.
Yeah, that's always good.
At least you're still limping along,
Things are looking up.
Yeah. Amazon might go out of business.
You're adorable.
Yeah.
So yeah, this rep Mike Clark talking about business and talking about a recent decision about a baker with not wanting to make a cake for a gay wedding. That's a big national story. You can Google anywhere and find out about that. But here's where it becomes very local, and I mean very local for us here at the Sioux Empire Podcast. Rep Mike Clark told someone here on Facebook, and I quote, "It's his business. He should have the opportunity to run his business the way he wants." Oh, that seems
reasonable.
solid. That's reasonable. Yeah, absolutely.
That's reasonable.
If he wants to turn away people of color, then that's his choice. Yeah.
I love his stance on choice here, but I have a feeling that abortion and bathrooms, he doesn't really feel like there should be a choice. I bet. I don't know it for a fact, but I know it's true.
Well, here's the shocking twist on this news story, because I'd seen this story and I'm like, man, what a douche. And then I went to research it and put together this note real quick for this new story. Because I was just like, yeah, what a Trump wannabe jackass, this rep Mike Clark. Wait, why is that name familiar? What district is it? District 9. Oh shit, he's my rep.
You probably voted for him without
Did you
even
vote for
knowing
him?
it.
I may have voted
You
for
probably
him.
circled his name.
Oh
Yeah.
Just because you didn't know what other name to circle.
No, Rob probably put some thought into it.
Yeah,
Just made
I'm
the wrong
one of those
decision,
nerds who
even
totally
after
like
putting
nerds out
thought
on it
into
and stuff. But all kidding aside, Michael Clark, now that I recognize the name and know who we're talking about, he has a reputation for actually being a pretty reasonable guy, which compared to some of the other legislators, and so I kind of liked him. But this is ridiculous. I mean, Jesus Christ on a cracker.
People of color, that's just what...
Pick up a history book. God.
In his defense,
Exactly.
he probably didn't mean it like that, but he could press edit, right? You could press edit.
Yeah, but delete was better. He deleted.
Oh, he did delete it.
Yeah, screenshots were taken.
Yeah, but screenshots were taken, and I mean the person that you send that, even when you say something shitty and then delete it right away, if you posted it, it shows up as a notification to the person that you replied to. Because I've had people do that before where they say something that is like way over the line, and then they immediately delete it, but it still shows up in my notifications as, hey, so-and-so said this to you, and I'm like, really?
But then you can't
Click on
reply
it
to
and
it
it's
because
not
it's like,
there.
Yeah.
what is this?
Very, very entertaining.
Yeah, I think that's you said pick up a history book. It's kind of the same thing as with the table in the Black Hills. Like, they clearly didn't look into the history of it. They just,
They
looked
just
at
didn't
it.
care. They were just like,
Right, yeah.
fuck
didn't
this,
care.
I'm doing what I want in the world. It's just like, okay. But I don't know.
Fuck progress, segregation is still okay if you wanna. Like, come on, man. That's what you're saying.
In Rep Clark's defense, he has issued like a very strict apology where he's like, that was very racist of me to say. I am so sorry, etc., etc. I accept his apology and look forward to his resignation as a result. Because I'm sorry, this is like, we can do better, people. I mean, just like, what are we doing with the legislature? Are we just rounding up people at a bus station and being like, hey, you don't look like you're a vampire. Why don't you go represent us and decide what happens to millions of dollars in the state? I mean...
So it sounds like you're gonna run.
God, don't even tempt me. It's tempting. God damn. Because I'm sorry. I'm just so pissed about this. It's like It's like, I'd expect this bullshit from one of the crazy people out West River. Yeah, that's right, you two, I said it. But someone that represents me, like, directly, that I can vote for, saying this bullshit, just like, disgusting. So, moving on.
I just want to add the real quick how scientifically, genetically type thing, there's no such thing as different races.
Oh, I know.
I was putting that out there for anyone who doesn't. Apparently that guy. Yeah,
because apparently we need to, like, re-educate people on, like, racism bad. Is racism good? No, Rob. Put the bad button. The bad one. Oh, okay. I thought maybe that'd change or something. No, it's still bad. Okay, cool.
Well,
that we'd have that talk.
Allegedly, he was on an Ambien when he wrote that. But after seeing what happened to Roseanne, he decided to omit that part. Because it didn't turn out.
That'd be an even better reply.
That would be.
On the Facebook comment.
So I'm a little racist when I'm in a awaking sleep state.
I love that even Ambien themselves put out a statement. It's just like, racism is not one of the side effects of our product.
Although we do have crazy side effects.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. You're going to be bleeding out of your eyes.
You might shave your chest in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Wake up with a bare chest. You will not be a racist by the time you wake up. We can promise you that.
You may declare yourself the new messiah and set your neighbor's car on fire in celebration, but you won't do.
You will not do so
neighbor.
Out of racist intentions.
Yeah.
If you shave a swastika into your chest hair, that was in you already. Ambien didn't put that there.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So, Gattaca to the future. This is this is from Sioux Falls Business. The first project of the USC Discovery District will be 3 times larger than leaders anticipated 1 year ago.
It's because Trump's president. It's going to be huge.
It's going to be huge. Saab Biometrics and I'm going to slaughter this. Allumend. Thank you. Will be the first companies to announce plans to locate at the district, which will construct 2 buildings to support their needs. And I've seen the artist mock-up of it and stuff like that. Looks spectacular. And, here's my deal with that. I am super stoked that Sioux Falls will now be ground zero for the Great Human-Animal Slave Uprising of 2073.
It's a very specific year.
Yeah, very specific.
You got it down.
I got it.
Is that like I feel like this is a Planet of the Apes sort of deal.
Yeah, that's where I'm going. I'm kind of going for a Planet of the Apes thing. But, or no, not Planet of the Apes.
Rise?
Fall of the Planet of the 70s one where they're all in, like, prison orange jumpsuits, and the humans are all kind of dressed like Nazis, but not really Nazis, but kind of a wink and a nod, like this is a reference to Nazis. It was like 1970.
One of the old ones?
Yeah.
There was like 10 of them.
Oh.
Yeah.
They had a
so I mean, I know
because it's not beneath the Planet of the Apes. It's not Escape from the Planet of the Apes. It's Conquest of the Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
You could pick any verb.
Yeah.
Which was the one where like the mom ape is holding like the modern day monkey and she gets like shot or something, so she throws the monkey in
That's
the
Escape
ocean?
from the Planet of the Apes.
Okay.
That's the one immediately before the one I'm talking about, because the one I'm talking about is the story of Caesar, the ape that is the baby that escapes, that's the intelligent ape, and eventually like leads the slave uprising in the one.
I like quit watching after that. I was like, I like the other one.
It was sad. It was sad because the monkey family died. Yeah.
And they were cool in the other one. They were like the only people who were like,
the humans were the real monsters.
Koba terrifies me. That's all I gotta say. Koba's freaking terrifying. He's got scars all over his face. And he kills things.
Oh.
Sounds like
he's
a cool friend.
He's a mean ape.
He's a mean ape indeed.
Bad ape. Bad.
That's a real ape I wouldn't want to have on my back.
So, monkey on your back.
Yeah.
All kidding aside and sci-fi references aside, it's super exciting to have these real kinds of job growth and development in Sioux Falls and South Dakota. Great job to everybody that's involved in that.
Hashtag Rich Nazer. He's been working hard at this for a long time.
Awesome.
He deserves a shout out.
Very cool. Let's see. This one I don't know that much about, but I was just going to mention because it got a whole lot of outpouring on social media. This was the Sioux Falls Christian golfer who lost her title after she admitted that she scored herself wrong on her scorecard. Otherwise, she would have been state champion. But she confessed because it's apparently they wouldn't have caught it. But she was like, "No, I got this wrong. I wrote the wrong thing on my scorecard," and so then she was disqualified. But there was a huge outpouring of social media on there applauding her sportsmanship and just forthrightness for doing that.
Well, yeah, because after the event or the match or whatever the heck you call it, golf. Match. After that ended, she saw that her score was posted incorrectly, and she didn't have to say anything, but she made the choice to tell them, and she's actually gotten
Do you recall her name? I'm terrible. I did not put her name down.
No.
I was putting a lot of notes together this morning.
I don't even remember the name of the famous people that contacted her, but there were actually Major League golfers, I guess I'll call them, because I don't really care about whatever golfers call themselves, but
Go
they
on.
reached out to her and professional, thank you, sir. But you're in the big leagues now. Choke up on the shaft, you're dropping your shoulder. No.
Gotta find your happy place, Happy. Quit poking me with the arm.
So yeah, that's...
Wait, you keep your own score in golf?
Apparently.
That's really surprising.
And
That is really surprising.
Wait, so even Tiger Woods is just keep his own
I
score?
don't know.
They have officials watching.
When we played golf in high school, it was just a riot and not the type of golfing that professionals would do. That sucked. You drop another ball down.
Yeah, I would never trust the drunken degenerates that I used to go golfing with to keep their own score.
Obviously, there's some people of higher class that are playing it, and they've got great integrity when they play this.
Yeah, they're the people stuck behind me.
But it's still interesting. It's a sport, and so it's competitive, and you would expect that. I actually did that in 3, not 4. That hole really sucked. Mulligan, and you just kind of take a. I don't wonder if that happens, but. This girl was just honest.
Yep.
Sounds
right.
like.
So whoever you are, mystery girl, we applaud your honesty. Thank you.
Way to go. Golf is a sport of integrity. Way to go.
Speaking of honesty, so Sioux Falls or South Dakota News Watch, which they always put out these really big, nice investigative stories here. We've talked a little bit about that organization, but they've got one this week that's about STDs in South Dakota, and holy crap, we should seriously put some plastic on the couch or something for all the guests coming and going. South Dakota.
No judgment on you, Andy, but
not you, Andy, but all the other guys,
Yeah,
and then the next episode I'm gonna be like. Not you, Bob, but that Andy guy from that. No, you're cool. The week before, yes. Seriously, people, get checked and be safe, because apparently there's a whole lot of, and not just STDs, but freaking antibiotic-resistant gonorrhea on the loose in South Dakota. So watch yourselves.
Also in sexually active adult news. Not
You're
really
having sex?
adult, though. But the teen pregnancy rate is down a huge amount, and for the first time in quite a while. But
Nice.
STDs are on the rise, so yeah, get checked. And there's some times where you can get checked once for free. I don't know, but make sure to get checked.
Yes.
After each one, so that you know which one. All right, you don't want a guessing game in these things.
You're more into that swinger culture, so you're more just
Well, yeah,
so
when you have 4 partners in one night, you gotta get checked
exactly.
the next day.
Yeah.
If
You're
it's
not
a
a
Saturday,
boring
don't do it
married
on a
old man like
Saturday.
me, then
Clinic's not open on a Sunday.
okay.
Found that out the hard way.
So, next story. Thanks,
Andy
Seth.
got anything on STDs?
The Monster House.
All right.
Bye-bye. This story is ridiculous, but everyone was talking about it. It was just everywhere on social media. There was a live stream of the demolition of the house, for God's sake.
Gosh.
It's gone. Thank God it's over. I'm so tired about hearing about this house, but it's a thing that happened in the Sioux Empire. So there you go. Here we go. Flag stuff. This is what I want to get into. This is the hard-hitting stuff here. You know, Sioux Falls, as you see in our studio here, we have the Sioux Falls People's flag up on the wall. This is the celebrated flag that was selected after a flag design contest a few years back, if I recall. And the city was kind of supposed to adopt it as our city flag, because we're one of like only 3 major cities in the U.S. that doesn't have a city flag. So we came up with a flag. We had a contest. People talked about it. People were there. But the city never adopted it for reasons that still escape me. And now with a new mayor, because apparently Huther was one of the big people pushing to not adopt it, the hope is that they could finally adopt it as our flag. But man, I have been talking to people on social media about this flag, and there is like a holy crap load of blowback about not liking this flag. What is wrong with the flag? What is wrong with the flag? Come on.
I think that the fact you brought it up before, like having a flag seems like a really cool thing. It was never on their radar now, and so now that it is, they feel like they're entitled to a choice.
I don't know what it is, but I get it.
Yeah, like, well, it's like, oh, have you ever in your life cared about Sioux Falls' flag? Like, most of the time you don't care about South Dakota's flag. You're just like, oh, that's South Dakota's flag.
Yeah.
What does it look like? I don't know or care. And maybe you think it looks horrid.
There's a crapload of small details that I will never take the time to thoroughly examine.
But here comes Sioux Falls, and we finally, like, there's a Sioux Falls flag. And by the way, it doesn't look like a bad state flag. I'm going to rub some feathers there the wrong way. But some artist drew it up. I think it looks fairly nice. And it's better than nothing. It's not nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not nothing.
And I like it, and when you read because all these flags and symbols and stuff like that have the breakdown of what each thing represents and stuff like that. And I like the idea that the red rock represents the, Sioux quartzite that is the common rock around here that so many of our historical buildings are built out of. And it's got the falls in it, because as I was explaining to one woman and showing off my Sioux Empire logo, it is incredibly fucking hard to come up with like an abstract vectorization of a waterfall that looks good. It's really goddamn hard. I think I spent like 4 months on the Sioux Empire logo trying to get something that looked like a waterfall that was like makeable into like a logo of some kind that didn't look like total garbage. And it's tough.
I like they put the sun on there because that's the happy 3 months of our lives here in Sioux Falls.
Exactly, and a shout out to our state flag. So it's just like it's literally almost 50% our state flag, and people are just like, it's a dirty commie flag. It's like, okay, I've been accused of being like a sleeper agent for state Democrats, which I'm just like, how does that even? There's not even any words or images on it. It's seriously like fields of color and a jagged line, and it's just like, commie talk. What? Where? What the hell? I mean, it's one thing if you aesthetically, you just don't like the flag. I get it. Okay, that's fine. I disagree with you, but, and honestly, when it first saw it, I was like, it's okay, I guess. I hung it up in the studio because I wanted, this area is becoming like a shrine to various random Sioux Falls and Sioux Empire themed things in here, and I thought it'd look good in the studio. But as it's been hanging on my office studio wall for a few months now, I'm coming to more and more like it and appreciate it as it's been up there, and I've had more time with it, and yeah, so I think it's a perfectly good flag, and I'm all for it, and I just do not understand the not wanting it, or like people who are such a different flag, that just the people who are incensed by, why do we need a flag? Why do we need to change anything ever?
I agree with Andy. A flag is better than none, and it's also called the people's flag.
Well, that was that was an argument I was fighting. It's because, well, anything that's called the people's is communist.
Well,
so you're a communist.
No, man. Do we not remember the people's champion, Dwayne Johnson, the Rock? Do we see how that fucking turned out?
Well, he must.
This flag would turn out fucking great. Do you smell what this flag is cooking, Rob? Do you smell what this flag is cooking? It smells
That's
like
commie talk.
It's cooking democracy. And
Commie
Sioux
talk.
Falls.
Man, I tell
Democracy
you what,
is commie talk.
you guys are changing my mind. When I look at that flag, I just think of communism now. That's just
Yep.
immediately...
That was raw.
I just want to, like, murder the shit out of the proletariat and, like, you know, and join a collective farm. That's the flag.
This flag is actually changing my mind on democracy as we speak. It's sitting
Yeah,
here.
I think
It's big. The red is really adjusting my ideologies.
Yeah,
And,
absolutely.
Man, when I drove down, it was 10th Street, and I saw it outside of, like, Mamalada's. I saw, well, that looks like a nice flag. Is that their flag? Oh, I saw it on social media. That's Sioux Falls' flag. What a nice thing. Somebody took the time to do that.
Yep.
But now, I see the plot behind it. I truly get it now. I'm being morphed now.
The flag has sunken in and seethed into you, and it's turned you. That flag there, it's cursed. They say it's not from a realm of these parts. It's from the great beyond. It gets in you. It's only a matter of time before it takes you, and it rips you from the inside and rips out the.
Wow, I don't want that
democracy.
flag anymore.
Yeah.
Rips out the capitalism.
I was being, changed, but now I don't want that.
No, just that specific flag, not the design, but that one.
You're saying anything I'd hang in my studio now has, like, Lovecraftian properties of evil?
You called it a shrine. We know that you're
I called the poet's table a shrine.
You're casting incense. You're chanting. What? Listen, Rob. We know what the soundproofing is for. It's for your, when you're, out of
in my evil chanting at 3 a.m. around my pentagram. Yeah.
When you're flailing around and
flailing around.
Feeling.
It's called dancing. No. So yeah, I think we're all pretty pro flag here. Even if it is like a secret plot to turn us gay or something. I don't know.
Rob
There's so many conspiracies.
Dancing, I call it wicked contortions of his body.
Our next
I don't know.
Our next story here, and we're probably going to make this the last news story here for time, is the sore loser in Bonhomme County. In Bonhomme County, a sheriff's deputy has lost his job after winning the race for sheriff in Tuesday's primary election. The sheriff's deputy, Mark Maggs, was sent a letter by his election opponent and the current sheriff, Lenny Gramco, saying that he was terminated the email was sent moments after he won. So literally, like, he won the election and the guy was, like, sitting on a button and goes, bloop, you're fired.
I'd like to see the original document and check when that was created.
Yeah, I'm guessing this was it feels like it was a prepared form.
As he decided to run against him, he just writes it up and show you, motherfucker.
Exactly. And what a sore loser. So, no word yet on if Sheriff Lenny clicked send on that email with his apparently very small penis. And with that concludes the news. So next here we are going to be moving into our interview with Andy. Andy, the reason you're here. Hey. Welcome.
Not to be transformed into a communist.
No.
By staring at Sioux Falls' new
that's a tertiary benefit of this. Yeah, exactly. It'd be turned into a werewolf. That's how werewolves, right?
Work, right? Fun. That'll make headlines.
Yeah.
There you go. So, speaking of something that's not communist, fireworks. America.
Man, that's what I'm talking about.
Hell yeah. Fireworks.
That's hard to disagree with fireworks.
So, you like fire?
I mean, yes.
I like fire.
In the most primitive sense, me like fire.
Me like fire.
Me
fire good.
Friend.
I don't know why friend was like the perfect word there, but it wasn't. That worked awesome.
It was.
So, Andy, why you do? Why you do, Andy?
And Andy, what you do? Tell the listeners what you do.
I always like to channel my nieces and nephews that are like 3 and 4 when I do interviews.
Did they ask you that question? Why you do?
Yeah, why you do?
That's a deep question.
Sometimes
some of the toddlers and the little kids, they're so innocent. They can ask the most profound questions.
My godson Clyde, he will get into like super super deep territory. I was like, it was him in a passenger seat and me like driving back from Rapid City, and by the end of it, I was explaining how capital punishment works, and I'm like, wait a minute, you're 4. Why am I talking about this? It was crazy.
A good name to bring up now, but Louis C.K. has a great bit on this. If you've never seen it, it's the most hilarious thing. Because some things are and some things aren't. Because you can't be something if you're nothing. No. Alright, anyway, yeah.
Nice. We will check it out. So, but back to the question. Nice try to dodge there. Why you do?
Just in life, in business, what?
Maybe fireworks.
Yeah,
Talk a little bit about Fire Brothers.
Sure. Why I do? I actually here's the first thought that comes up. People are genuinely becoming more comfortable in and using technology, in and around using technology, right?
Fair.
With that, it exposes something that I think this audience will really appreciate. People are genuinely lazy.
Fair.
We genuinely don't actually want to do much. We actually just want to hang out, enjoy our time, sit by the beach with a margarita. If we could, we would just sit on the couch and finish all the seasons of everything.
I've said this before. If Food Dudes had a checkbox where you could just leave the patio unlocked and they would come into the apartment and put the food into my mouth instead of delivering it to the patio, I'd check the box. Even if it was like a $5 fee, I'd do it.
I'm a little bit too people in the house without, I mean, it can be like separate entrance or like separate guest house, but
a servant's entrance.
No, but it would be like no, it's like the separate, and then there's like the connecting underground tunnel with the revolving bookcase. How to get in there? That'd be cool.
Yeah. All right, so
I think it's a great plan. I have plans.
So
fireworks.
All right, real quick, 30-second pitch. I run Fire Brothers Fireworks. You watch videos of fireworks on my website. You order them online. You pick them up in store. And this year, orders over a certain threshold are going to be delivered to your house.
What?
Yeah, that's kind of an under the ground thing we're doing.
Mom, Dad, can we go to the fireworks store? Well, we don't have time. Oh!
Here's the concept is little kids know how to use technologies. I see infants using phones. So I was in the industry for a couple of years, and working in the industry, I realized that people, not only did I see Amazon taking over the entire world.
Yeah,
and
that's fair.
I thought, okay, the internet is coming. The internet, buying things online is a thing.
Internet good. Fire good.
Infants are like in their mom's arms playing with phones.
Making
and functioning very well with phones. They know how, toddlers know how to go to the apps and play the games. They're good at this. And so there's something to be said about this internet technology thing, and there's something to be said about the convenience of it, right? Like, I could go to the store and order something. Can I wait 2 days? I absolutely can wait 2 days. Here we go. And I ordered online. Okay, fireworks. Here we go. I am in the industry realizing it has not been touched by technology. It is still we sell out of barns and tents. We do so with a calculator. We figure all this stuff out. And all of this to say that it had not been innovated yet. And it's frankly, it's a very old industry, right? It's just like rooted. The market for business is one of the strongest. It's only a 9-day industry, basically a month industry, because nobody cares about fireworks until the 4th. And so I thought to myself, okay, why not pioneer this and just do something? It's actually simple. This is a very simple concept. I've got my fireworks. I'm going to do a good job photographing them. We've got videos of everything they do. And so you go on the website, you order online, you pick up in store, and then you start to see some really cool things. You see Walmart's doing this, Target's doing this, and if they're putting their buns behind that, boy, you better get on that train. And I didn't see that and reacted. I actually just started acting alongside of that sort of thing. So
get the same idea at the same time.
So here's why I do what I do is because there's an opportunity there. Let's just do it. There was an opportunity. We're just going to jump on that train. We're actually going to start building that train. Now, it's going to be very hard because it's such a last-minute industry to make this and scale it big. The vision for doing that is very cloudy. We have no idea how if it could scale huge, if we could do something big with this. But we're going to be really focused on doing it great here this year. So what we need is people to just go try it. We just need people to go through the process and say, hey, Andy, that sucked. Or, Andy, that was amazing. The first year when I had one store, we doubled our stores last year. We actually do have physical stores. And we doubled our stores, and I had to be all over the place, and it was a mess, and I wasn't prepared, and I'm a last-minute guy, so it wasn't done very well. And I think the online experience wasn't as good. The first year, though, every customer that actually bought online, which, by the way, first year, we had people buying online, and I asked them, I'm like grilling them. I'm like, what did you think? What are all the problems? Give me everything. And they're like, that was cool. I'll do it again next year. And it was so, like, it was actually disappointingly simple to them. They're just like, yeah, I went on the site, bought it like I bought everything else in my life, and I came and picked it up. I was like, can we change anything? He's like, nope. Can we improve? And they're like, nope, just give me my fireworks, man.
Stop it, you're hurting me.
You weirded me out, man.
You're so right about it being an industry and touched by technology. And when you said calculator, it took me back to actually going up to the stand, just a little shack that like just was in the spot around 4th of July, and them having the old calculator that had like the paper ream on it that printed it out.
Yeah.
While they were typing it, like that was. Yeah.
And there's nothing. Here's what I've realized. I actually planned on like scaling a software to do this, so it'll be like the Shopify of the fireworks industry, because Shopify and fireworks, they play all right together. Facebook fireworks advertising doesn't go well together. Payment processing in fireworks is not good at all. So there is a place for me to actually create my own pyro payment system. There is a place for me to create a software that just does a really good job. And here's where the industry will not catch up to me unless they start working very, very, very hard to focus on this, or they spend a lot of money on hiring people to come in and do this. Is I study this and I do this for a living. Online business is a completely different game than brick and mortar business. It's a completely different beast. You need to not build a site, you need traffic to the site. You need to engage people. There's conversion optimization, there's Google Analytics, there's advertising, conversion rates, click-through rates. There's all this stuff that you got to know. And none of these guys are going to adopt it. In fact, they're fine the way they're doing it. They've been making money doing this for 50 years. Why would they change now at the end of their time? A lot of them are retiring.
Sounds like an industry that's ripe for disruption.
Yes, indeed. So it's not going to be build out this massive Shopify software and sell it to these fireworks guys for them to use, because frankly, they don't want to use it. And if they do want to use it, they're not going to be able to do so effectively. You know, and then there's like, oh, we could just take a giant percentage of all the industry. That's just not going to work.
Yeah.
You'd almost have to do, and this is maybe a vision, is a lot of these people are going out of business, and if they don't have a legacy, if they don't have a family, you could just either put someone in place there with our branding and our equipment and our process and our online advertising strategies and say, hey, you can take over this business and make it yours.
You know, franchise it, basically.
Yeah, we could. So I don't...
Franchise it with a shell of old businesses, so you'd have to find, like, businesses and get, to know the owner and just, like, keep notes. That'd be a intense, like, search, but it kind of would be fun.
Yeah, somebody said this...
What are you doing this year? Going across the country to different fireworks stands. That's dope.
That is cool. Somebody said this the other day, they're like, because we're going to make a video this year. It's going to be a story video. I know, video, right? And not like me holding my phone, talking really excitedly
hey,
video.
This is Andy, we're selling fireworks.
Yeah.
One of my
Like
vlogs.
one of those inflatable tube men people?
Yeah, that's me. Okay, so that's me now until July 15th. I'm just wacky waving, inflatable, arm flailing tube man.
Nice.
I
Nailed it.
Bam, I'm that for the whole month. And you go back and you watch videos of yourself, you just don't like them. It's like, that's I don't sound like that. I do sound like that. That's, in fact, what I sound like. Anyways, somebody said to me, we're going to make this video, and we want to shoot it in your barn, because I have a barn, the boom barn. There's a cool story behind it, which I can share, too, if we have time. But, it's a cool local story here. And he goes, we want you to actually, we want you to be the fireworks guy that they go to. And I was like, I do too. But He's like, not an internet guy selling fireworks. I'm like, shoot, that is more like me, though. Like, I'm not really like this guy with this grand vision to, like, import all the fireworks and be this empire of fireworks. I'm actually just an internet kid selling fireworks online.
In America, first you get the fireworks, then you get the money.
All right.
Then you get the women.
Because I know the audience. Here's a funny story. I went to the National Fireworks Convention.
Yes.
Right? That's a thing. That's the association convention, whatever it is. And I meet this guy, and let's just call him Big Tom. And Big Tom looks like a gangsta. Turns out Big Tom pretty much is a gangster. He's pretty much conning all these people into thinking that he is going to order a bunch of their fireworks so he gets their bottom dollars. Then he, like, pulls down the veil on his new fireworks wholesale business he's been coordinating with Chinese people on selling fireworks, and he puts the price lower than all of the people he'd been talking to.
That's doing your research, kids. That's working smarter, not harder.
All right. I looked at that and I went, and he's like, haha, look at that, Aiden, look what I did.
Did he actually laugh when he did it? It's like, haha, motherfuckers.
He does sound like that.
Shit.
He does sound like that. He bought me a large steak and said, I'm going to sell you fireworks. And I was like, I said, no, thank you so much for this prime rib. I don't know what the occasion is, but what a generous, rich, somewhat shady man you are. and I can't wait to eat this. And he goes, oh, don't worry. You're going to buy fireworks from me by the end of the day. And I was like, I, in fact, do not buy fireworks from people I think are a part of the mafia because I know how that game works. Seen The Godfather.
Yeah.
You know,
no horse heads.
when I need a favor from you, I will call upon you.
Yeah. Certainly nothing could go wrong in buying what could be construed as explosive items from someone who may have criminal ties. That never ends badly.
Yeah, and I don't want to accuse this guy of being a criminal, but for sure...
Shady, perhaps.
He's shady and
colorful.
If you don't know how someone makes their money, you ought to be concerned. It seems, sir, you have got money, and a lot of it. How do you make that money? Well, I've got my ways. Alrighty then.
My sister invested heavily in Beanie Babies in the 90s.
Yes. I got in the ground floor of Beanie Babies. Now they have Beanie Baby coin. We won't go into that. We won't go into that.
That's fucking awesome.
Oh my
man,
gosh.
that would be great.
So here's my local story, Sioux Falls. I was going to start this business. I needed a place. You still need a fulfillment center.
Yep.
And I'm going to call him Farmer Dan. He's going to love that. Dantastic Farmer Dan is right outside of Sioux Falls, right outside the city limits. His property is split by the city limits. The barn, he calls me up. Hey, firecracker kid, here, I got this barn here. You can come fix it up and use it. I was like, oh, sweet. I'll use the barn. This will be great. And I go see it, and it is a mess. It's falling apart, rotting, all that kind of good stuff. But eventually, we got to the point where I went through these city committees, and they denied me unanimously. I said, we're not going to let you do business there. Nope, it's too close to city limits. So I actually walked door to door to the neighbors they thought and said was going to disturb the neighbors. We said, we're not going to let you do that. The neighbors are going to get mad, and it's too close to city limits. I said, here's the thing. I appealed that decision, they unanimously denied, to the city council. It was told that I had about a 5% chance of having a city council overturn a joint committee of the county and the city. And the chances of them overturning it, they basically have to look at the city in the face and say, we agree with this guy, not you, city, and not you, county. And so I did so very genuinely. I was not being malicious about this. I just knocked on doors, every neighbor touching the property, and I said, I'm just doing this. Would you like that? And they said, we would love that. Would you sign this? And they signed it. And I took that to my city council meeting, and I said, all right, here's the deal. All the neighbors are on board, every single one of them. Even the guy that was hesitant at first was like, this will be great. And then I said, if you're worried about the city limits, see, you can't sell fireworks in city limits. They're worried about me becoming an island.
Yep.
Like other ones. There's one a block in Sioux Falls, further in Sioux Falls than me. I'm like, there's one in Sioux Falls for me. Give me 2 years. if you limit my term to that land to 2 years, I'll make this business work without it, without that piece of land, if I need. Now, this recent year, I went through the application process, and they gave me forever.
Nice.
They were going to give me 5 years, and on the spot in the committee, I said, guys, can you never make me come here again, please? Please. And here's the thing about Sioux Falls. With all the flag conversations and all the business conversations and the development and maybe the drama you see on Sioux Falls and on social media, you don't see the genuine, like, advantageous community that we have here. And when I say that, I mean, I went to the city council and genuinely proposed, hey, I'm going to work with you, can I do this? And they unanimously overturned the decision, and we just did it. And they said, yes, you can do it. So a city council, like, you want to talk about the people and the power with the people. I was just a 23-year-old punk entrepreneur wanting to do something, and the city council overturned what you would call the bureaucracy, what you would call the structures, the status quo, and they overturned that. And after that, everything has been great. People want to see businesses grow. Frankly, there's nothing to do in Sioux Falls, so anything to talk about, whether it's a flag,
It's true.
anything. Like, if you could get upset about something, you want to, because there's nothing to get upset about, right? Like, so that's where the flag conversation comes right back.
Yeah, we cover local news. We did an entire episode about a meme one time, I'm pretty sure.
Yes. Like, okay, I saw, and God bless all the local media, they're doing their best. But one time, Whiskers the cat got shot by a .22. Do you guys remember that story? You should have talked about it on the podcast.
I remember the story.
Whiskers the kitten shot by .22 and vandalized. Top story tonight on blah, blah, blah. We'll keep the news.
Yeah, 4 letters.
We've
I was like, no!
we've talked with people from the Argus Leader before about Highway Pig. And that's the number one story of all time
what
from the
was that?
Argus Leader, was just the pig that jumped out of a moving truck on the interstate and then ended up getting adopted and being made a pet, and it was this whole thing. And it was Joe Stevie was frustrated because it's the number one most read article of all time at the Argus Leader is Highway Pig.
I don't even know what to say about that. Besides, this town is looking to do something, and they're looking for any sort of excitement. So you don't have to be great, you just have to be good in order to really gain support. And I think what I'm doing is fun. People, it's hard to disagree with fireworks unless you're like doing something dangerous with them. And we're just giving it to people. What they do with it in their hands, I'm going to say that as a waiver, what you do with them is on your own time. We're just selling them.
For example, if you get a firework that's called the liquid metal robot, pro tip, don't, because, you know, if you're like us, my family's got a farm out in Wessington, South Dakota, and we always do a gigantic fireworks spectacular every year with the Rungies, and it's kind of a rivalry almost with our cousins, but it's like 1 year they'll host it, then we'll host it back and forth. Anyway, it's a big thing. So one of my cousins, she got this firework called the liquid metal robot. Couldn't find the fuse on it. Well, we don't use punks, because we don't need no stinking punks. We all have those...
torches?
Yeah, we've all got torches, and so she got the great idea to just burn her way into the side of the firework to ignite it. And
that's a bad idea.
Let's see.
From the professional.
Yeah.
Of course, he's got internet before fireworks in his name, in his title, but, you know, still a fireworks professional.
Yeah.
Don't light where the fuse is not, kids.
Yeah. So I remember that one because I was lighting an artillery shell at the time, and everyone's like, oh my god, and I look over and there's just like balls of fire flying at me. So you can imagine me running across the driveway. I go to like dive behind my sister-in-law's car, and as I'm like diving to the ground, just before I get there, one of the like, because it's got like flaming and exploding balls that are flying out of all directions of it now, and
great balls of fire.
Great balls of fire indeed. It goes like flying underneath the car and explodes. So then I'm like, whoa, start to like get up and away because I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get shot at from there. And right about then, one hits right into her windshield and explodes. And so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna stay down. I think my mom pushed two of my nieces into the garage of the garage doors. They were like going to get a beverage or something, like pushed them inside. And I think that one of my nephews had to jump into we had a water garden at the time in the front yard. And he had to like jump into it to like get away. And
that sounds like a war story.
Or a Chevy Chase movie.
But the best, I always thought of that as the best one, because that one was when I was like in my 20s or like early 20s, and then the best one from my late 20s is the first time that my mother-in-law, who's from Minnesota and super not into like fireworks or anything rednecky in any way like that, comes to the farm. And we had one firework that like went off and exploded, and it lit one of the like exploding rocket shells from it hit her chair. She moved to the side just in time. It burned some of her hair, and right in smack dab in the middle of the back of the chair she was sitting in was a giant like scorch burn mark.
I don't think that fireworks are intrinsically rednecky. I think that
they are when we get our hands on them.
That's just what I was going to say is Roman candle fights, that's rednecky. But fireworks themselves, not
I don't know Roman candle fights. That's not safe.
It's like the ambient, right?
Not cool.
Yeah, it's like the ambient.
It doesn't make you a redneck to have fireworks.
No.
It just...
But to have Roman
you are a redneck, and you do redneck things with everything.
Yeah.
This is true, I guess.
Like the car parts in the yard. You put your car parts in the yard, you put your fireworks in a can of gasoline for an after effect when they go off.
You put the fireworks in the car, you shoot them out of the car parts.
Gotta get the extra bend on that cap with the fishing hook on it.
Yep. You use a bunch of old baler tubes to weld together a giant cannon system for all of your rockets.
Nuts on your pickup truck, got horns on the front.
Hell yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Got them glass packs or whatever that look at me, my dick's small. Noisemaker stuff is.
Exactly.
Howard Dean. Nice.
Yeah.
Yes,
Deep cut there. Yeah. So anyway, we've indulged my ridiculousness enough. Let's see. Anything else, Andy, you want to tell us? This model sounds amazing. I love the thought of being able to see a video of the firework beforehand. Because so often we go and we buy these crazy things, and it's a guessing game, especially when you're buying the big ones, because you've got your cousins that you're going to show them.
Yep.
So you're spending some pretty decent bank on these things, so you get this like, $100 firework that's just one thing with a fuse, and you're like, man, if this is not
if
like
this sucks, then I just spend $100 a second on it. So.
Yeah, if this sucks, I'm gonna be so disappointed. But for that price, it's got to rock, right? Yeah, let's do it.
Here's the benefit that I have because I focus on the online buying platform and the video based.
Yeah.
As I order them, I don't order them unless it's good.
Nice.
Which means I don't care about the label. I don't care about the name. I watch the video. I want the label and the name to be cool, so people click on it and they watch the video. But I can't get away with having a bad firework. And so sometime in the future, I'd love to crowdsource my ordering process.
That's cool.
So we'll crowdsource it, and I'll give them the websites and say, okay, you're going to go and pick your favorite ones, and then I'm going to go order them, and that way people have a chance to be like, no, if we're going to spend $300, which, by the way, people spend loads of money on fireworks.
Oh my God, yes.
This is their Christmas.
Yep.
This is the holiday of the year. And so with that, it's not like Walmart or Amazon where you know what you're going to get. The toy is going to squeak like this. It's like, man, what's it going to do? And it's so disappointing. So we just want to create a method where it's transparent. I feel like that's kind of a thing that people are starting to grip to, as you can see in everything, is like, what's the real thing happening behind the scenes? It's like, well, we have no reason not to show you that. In fact, it increases our sales to show you that.
Your product is inherently cool. Why wouldn't you?
It is cool. And
I want you to see it, and I'm not going to get away with buying bad ones.
Yeah,
fair enough.
Bringing in internet or the tech to fireworks is brilliant, and I think it's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I love the idea of showing the video of what the firework does, because that was so frustrating And do you have like a monitor set up in store for people that just go in store?
Yeah, this year we want to do that. Yep, this year we do. So they can either, if listeners are interested in visiting it, you can look up Fire Bros Fireworks and firebrosfireworks.com, all that kind of good stuff. Go watch the videos. We're redoing our website right now. This is my last minute project. Every year I have a last minute project. This one's going to be that. It's going to be sweet. I'll put our videos on there. And then in store, we'd love to have like a laptop. Nothing fancy, but what we can do is just put like a TV and hang it in the barn, and then they can just browse the website.
Nice. So before we go into shameless plugs and have you info dump all about like where they can learn about it and when the season is and whatnot, my last question is: do you have any recommendations? Is there one that you've like lit that you know you're gonna have again that you're like, this is the firework people?
Bangin' Hard. So
Bangin' Hard.
Yeah, Bangin' Hard is if you're gonna buy a cake, it's just my favorite. Actually, it's a Black Cat item, and so
Ooh.
yeah, Black Cat's it's a very good brand, and there's a great business on the T-Exit that have been selling this for a long time, and so I just ordered a ton more cases of it. We're gonna sell it in every one of our little shows. We're having prepackaged shows.
Nice.
So if you want a $50 show, I got it. $150 show, I got it. Prepackaged.
Ooh.
Very cool.
So you just go online and you're like, I want to spend $50 on a show.
Word.
And I custom build one for you.
I think that's what I'm going to do this year. That's like perfect.
That's really cool.
Yeah. Well, sweet. I haven't tested it out yet, and I'm actually scared that if I get enough traffic to the site, I might just like run out. So I ordered a ton.
You heard that, people. They're running out. Supplies are scarce. Order as fast as you can.
Well, last year I ordered a ton,
today.
and I was left like a semi-load too much. I'm like, this is the worst thing ever. I'm never doing this ever again. And I looked at the website traffic, and I was like, oh, we need
we need more.
We just need more.
Nice.
So, yeah.
The Sioux Empire Podcast proudly presents this week's Shameless Plugs.
So, Andy, this last part here is the shameless plugs. Tell us about when is the season? When can in-state residents start buying? Tell us about where they can learn more about you, social media, the website, everything like that. This is your chance to get on your soapbox and just sell away.
I feel like I already did this. Oops. That's okay.
No.
So
No, this is your formal one. Because when is the season? I didn't catch that last
June 27th to July 5th.
time. Okay.
So you can start buying on June 27th. If you would do me a favor, you could order earlier. That way, we know if we have to do some reorders. And also, you can work out all the kinks. If there's any kinks in the process, you buy the first few days of season. June 27th, we go live with this thing. If I'm doing my job, I'll be all over social media. I'll be all over ad accounts. You'll see me a ton. I love to do any promos.
And the website you mentioned, you're working on it, or is it up?
No, it's up right now. My older one is up right now.
Okay.
You can go look at t-shirts there. We got some sweet t-shirts.
Sweet.
We got one that says boom on it.
Nice.
Boom, period. It's good. We got my little fire dude, we call him.
Yep.
And yeah, you can go buy people. They're the softest t-shirts in the world. People can go buy those too.
Nice.
Yeah, firebrosfireworks.com. Come check it out. We've got an east side and west side location.
West Side.
And if people, here's my plug. If anyone is listening is interested, I'm gonna have a referral program. This is my little hack to get traffic. I'm gonna have a referral program that actually lets you share my stuff. People click that referral link and buy from me, and I pay you.
Ooh.
Nice.
That's going to be in the description.
I was going to say, I'm game.
If you have an audience, and that audience buys fireworks, I will actually pay you to sell for me. And now this is the same thing as a salesman in real life brick and mortar business. Online, it's called affiliate marketing.
Yep.
Now, how comprehensive I can make it this year? It's already June, but by God's grace, I am going to have a link, and I'll give one for for Sioux Empire podcast.
No problem.
Heck, we'll give them to SuperCon too.
Yeah.
They love fireworks.
Everybody loves fireworks.
Everybody loves fireworks.
Awesome.
Yeah. So that's my pitch. Is obviously you can visit the website, but man, if you got an audience, period, we'd love to get you a link. That's your link, and then you can either give it to charity, I think, or you can take the cash. I think I'm gonna give away cash. Seems reasonable.
Fantastic. Anything else you want to throw in before I let the rest of the crew give their shameless plugs?
No, I think that's good.
Alrighty. Seth, what do you got for us? Shameless plug.
I am going to shamelessly plug Seth's bi-weekly book club. It's next week. You're gonna get it here. All about Seth's first H.P. Lovecraft story that he read, The Color of Outer Space.
The Color of Space. The Color Out of Space. Yeah, that's the first H.P. Lovecraft story I ever read.
Ooh, wow,
awesome!
That's fucking cool.
Is that what you're doing this week?
Yeah, I put it
awesome.
in the event. I did it last night.
Cool, but still, it's one I've read like multiple times. That's fantastic.
Very cool. Yeah, it's definitely one that will make you want to do that. And then the Sioux Empire Podcast Patrons page. You can support the Seth's Bi-Weekly Book Club by going there and tossing in a few shekels. So help us out. We're hungry. Rob clearly doesn't get enough to eat. That's a fat joke in the shameless plug. It's very shameless. Natasha,
it's super shameless because I've been fasting for 8 days now, so I am really hungry.
You're looking good. It
Thank
tells. It can tell. Is it Ramadan for you? Anyway, Natasha, over to you. Shameless plug.
I was gonna do naps and then like snacks, but I'm just gonna go with again this booth at an arts and crafts fair that I will have someday. Yeah, that's it. Yep. Mm-hmm. And naps.
Okay. My shameless plugs this week. I am going to, first off, as always, do my shout out for the Sioux Empire podcast. Always bringing you local content. Be sure to check us out at theSiouxEmpire.com and be sure to support us on Patreon. All the great work we do if you love these podcasts. As always, SuperCon coming up this year. We're in the convention center. You got to check it out. It's at supercon.com. And my main shameless plug this week is that I am going to be a guest on Shout Out Sioux Falls. If you remember, we had one of the hostesses from Shout Out Sioux Falls on a previous week here. I will be on this Tuesday, June 12th at 1 p.m. live streaming. So be sure to watch me dishonor both myself and my podcasts there. You can check them out at Facebook/shoutouts or Shout Out Sioux Falls. Yeah. And that's my shameless plug for this week. Well, Andy, thank you for joining us this week. We had a wonderful time having you. And, good luck with the fireworks and stuff. And I will be probably placing an order here.
Sweet.
Thanks for coming, everybody. And we will see you all next week.